good day. We are from Group 2 and I'm HABISHEKA.
And I'm ALIFHA.
Hi, I'm HAMSHAVARTHINI.
I'm AMIR.
The topic we choose is the agent of socialization in TikTok era.
So let's get started.
Media and technology become the most dominant agent, blending with the traditional agents such as school, society, peers, and family. ALIFHA, can you please give me some authentic examples of agent of socialization in the TikTok era?
Well, first of all, we can have a look on the Mamushi dance trend, which used to be a trend back in 2024. It is basically a trend where they use Japanese rap song, which is the title of Mamushi. It started going viral in Japan, and then it started to get viral across the world, especially in Malaysia. And this trend is quite popular among students and also youth.
What do you think the tension and synergy of the Mamushi dance trend?
From what I've understand, tension of this trend is that a lot of people assume that this trend is over-sexualized because of the dance motion that were done by the teenagers, which actually could lead to misunderstood of the movement.
So what do you think are the agent of this dance trend?
So the agent of that started this trend is no other than the TikTok influencers, especially those in Japan. So I guess that's what we could have a look on the Mamushi dance trend.
Oh well, now I got it. So other than Mamushi dance trend, what are the other examples that I can get?
Well, other than the Mamushi dance trend, we could have a look on the hashtag Bendera movement, Bendera Putih movement, which used to be a trend back in the year of 2021. So basically, it is a movement made by the community, whereby it was back in the pandemic era, since they lack of food and sources of income. So they took any white clothes that they have in their home and then make it as a flag to show their solidarity to the government, as a sign that government failed to support them.
So in this thing, do you think TikTok became socialization for tool of teaching empathy?
Yeah, of course. Because by showing this movement, it shows that the community still have solidarity in them, so that their voice could be heard by the government.
Thank you, ALIFHA.
ALIFHA, recently I saw a few TikTok videos talking about TikTok beauty standard. And I heard it's still happening nationally and globally. What do you think about the TikTok beauty standard?
From what I've understood across the social media, so basically standards is a thing that widely consumed by females in the whole globe, especially they are into Korean skincare and then clean girl aesthetic. So they use a lot of skincare products just to fit themselves into the beauty standards, such as clear glass skin, and then fit body, and all that sort of things of beauty, which defines beauty. So Hamsha, have you ever experienced any conflict in beauty standards before?
I have been going through pressure in my teenager phase. I think it's very tough to go through at school, society. People will always talk about your presence anywhere. So I think you should be strong enough to go through it, and I hope it will help you one day.
Yeah, to be honest, I think people shouldn't fix any beauty standards on people because it makes people low in self-esteem. And then I think the agent promotes beauty standards is of course the beauty influencers, because they are the ones who influence people to buy all sort of products just to make themselves to look more pretty than they should.
Alright, so let's continue. So after we see those examples, so in general, cultural blend must have at least tension and synergy. So before we dive into that, let's discover first what is tension and synergy. So tension is about conflict between two cultural groups. So after all, in general, cultural blends means combining two cultures into one. So there must be conflict. It will never be perfect. So next is about synergy. Synergy is collaboration between those two different cultures. Basically, it's about when both cultures agree with each other. Alright, so let's take a look at the tension first. So one of them is unequal treatment to boys and girls. So this is basically when there's a trend, so it is much more suitable or much more prioritized to either boys or girls, and the others are much less likely. It's like, for example, if we look at the mamushi trend, it's about dancing. It is more appropriate for boys to dance instead of girls, like especially Muslim girls. So that is one example. Other than that, we got the social media attention. So social media attention is about the negative things that could happen in social media, like for example, cyber stalking, spreading fake news, or if we take a look at the cosmetic example, it could be cyberbullying, it could be citizen shaming on the person's beauty or whatsoever. So next is about synergy. Synergy also, there are also synergy between these cultural blends. So if you take a look, one of them is language blending. So basically, when two different languages they form together, and they create some new language. So basically, this is to allow both cultures, both sides to talk, to communicate each other. Like for example, we have Manglish, we combine Malay and English. And then there are also youth empowerment. So this is basically about teens can stand up and shout their voices so that the whole world can hear what they feel. Like for example, if a teen got cyberbullied, if they spread their word, the whole world will got the awareness, and soon the issue may get resolved. So yeah, this is for now for tension and synergy.
So, there are 4 types of ethical lens in agent of socialization in TikTok era. So, number 1 is appropriation, representation, preservation, and commodification. So, let's look into the first one. So, for an example, Khairul Amin. I'm very sure everyone knows about who's Khairul Amin. So, Khairul Amin is a famous TikToker influencer. He also produced his own product called Sambal Net, and I think everyone liked it, and even the non-Muslims loved it, and they started buying and they started to try out his recipes. So I think this helps to preserve the Malay culture and traditional foods that Khairul Amin keeps posting. So the next one is representation. TikTok is a platform for the indigenous community, especially the minorities, to showcase their daily life and identities through TikTok. So for an example, the Sabahan who showcase their Kadazan Dusun dances and other cultural dances in TikTok, and it influences the non-Sabahans to learn their dance and get more knowledge. Well, the third one is appropriation. TikTok can also be misunderstood and disrespected because there are times where cultures are practiced and borrowed by not having a proper respect or proper understanding, which can create a conflict between the society. So, for an example, mocking traditional clothes. Well, to avoid this inappropriation, maybe we can gain some knowledge via TikToks or anything. So to avoid this, we can learn and gain some knowledge before misusing it, so that we can avoid some inappropriations. Well, the last one is commodification. I think TikTok can be misused sometimes because there are people who use TikTok for their own benefit just to gain viewers and likes. For an example, maybe brands that uses cultural dances in advertisements just to gain people's attraction to sell off their product. Well, don't you think it's wrong?
Before jump into the conversation, let's talk about impact on Malaysian identity. TikTok shapes social norms and behavior. TikTok influences how Malaysians talk, how Malaysians wear clothes, how they interact, how they speak. So, by this, for an example, trends like wearing clothes, fashion styles, study hacks, and even slangs like bestie, lit, and la are also spreading so fast in this community. So the impact will be Malaysian youth identity is shaped by both local and global norms, creating a modern social lifestyle. The second one will be unity in diversity through peer socialization. TikTok allows from different races of youth to communicate with each other through online, especially TikTok. So for example, Malay, Chinese and Indian students from same university are joining the same dance competition or same dance challenge in TikTok, and they post it to get views. The third one will be educating and schooling identity. Have you been realizing that TikTok has become an informal classroom? For example, teachers are posting a lot of informative videos in TikTok, such as English grammar videos, sejarah tips, and motivational videos. Personally, it really helped me to gain knowledge from these kind of videos, unless like going to the school. Plus, I take it as a positive reviews. So the impact will be Malaysia's schooling identity is more digital, interactive, and more creative. The last one will be the generational conflict and adaptation. Older generation feels that TikTok spoils discipline, but we younger generation feel completely normal that we are just going through socialization in TikTok by talking to friends and online mates. So over the time, adults, teachers, even politicians join TikTok. So the impact is Malaysian identity faces tension between traditional and modernity, but also shows adaptation.
Okay, so you might be wondering of what are the implications of TikTok around of us. So first of all, we can have a look on the dance trend. So basically, TikTok can actually raise their creativity in making more creative choreography in dancing. For example, in the Mamushi dance earlier, it is actually choreographed by someone in Japan. And I think it is quite hard to generate a new choreograph actually. And other than that, TikTok also can promote unity among community. For example, the Indian student in school try to dance Malay traditional dance. So this actually causes cultural blending, or for some other words we call it as culture diversity. So based on all of our discussion in the video, we can conclude that TikTok has become a big influence, especially on social media, to young Malaysians that will affect their view of the world, especially in political, education, beauty standards, and much more. However, we should know that we have to use TikTok wisely to avoid conflicts such as copying others' ideas and then beauty standards, and also political issues such as Bendera Putih. However, the trends and also the movement that were made, as mentioned before, actually could lead unity among the community. For example, one of bendera putih among the community actually raise the solidarity in them so that their voice could be heard by the higher ups. And so I think TikTok is one of the biggest influence in the world.